Hi, I'm Dave Klein, and this is the Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast. A major privacy breach at Facebook/Meta has led to a lawsuit this week. A company called Markup did research on the top 100 healthcare websites in the United States and found that 33 of the hospitals were using a Facebook tracking technology called MetaPixel. This allows them to see everything that you do on the healthcare site, including talking about your medications, scheduling appointments, talk about your health and the conditions that you have. And none of these 33 sites had any kind of privacy disclosure that they were sharing information with Facebook. Real alarming situation. So this again has led to a lawsuit against Meta. And I wanted to take you through the way to disable this Facebook pixel from tracking you. And what I found in researching this, there was abundant information by advertisers and other vendors on how to adopt and use MetaPixel, but very little on how to get rid of it. And I actually did find one article that showed how to do it in 2021, and it's changed for 2022. So again, one of the things that Facebook is doing is trying to hide this so people don't disable it. So let's go through how to do it. Go into your Facebook settings, go into your Facebook information, off Facebook activity, disconnect future activity, and turn future off Facebook activity off. So the thing should be off, and that's how you turn it off so it does not track you. We'll keep you abreast on this information and see what happens with this lawsuit. The latest series of Windows updates has actually broken VPN, RDP, and RRAS settings on many servers, and the only way to get around it is to back out those changes. I'll put a link to how the rollback procedure works. This is totally a great example of why it's so important to have attack-based vulnerability management and a series of steps that you do on a day-to-day basis where you are able to look at the new vulnerabilities that are out there and find first party, which is the operating system or the VPC, and third party, all the security controls to protect you in advance of rolling out patches. Extremely essential to do this. That sound you hear are air raid sirens in Jerusalem. Apparently, Iranian APT attackers took advantage of the air raid system in Jerusalem and were able to break into it. However, the local authorities were able to come up with good disclosure, and what they did is they changed default passwords, enabled two-factor authentication, and restricted access to the management interfaces to only trusted IP addresses. These are fundamental things here that need to be done all over the world. So if you're in this situation, no default passwords, please do multi-factor authentication and start doing segmentation and allow lists and block lists. A new proof of concept exploit that is an NTLM Relay attack between an Active Directory server and a certificate server could allow total domain takeover. Researcher Philip Dragovich put out a tweet and a GitHub proof of concept exploit this week talking about this exploit. And here is a fundamental example of things you need to do with Active Directory to make sure the authentication is set appropriately in an extended fashion between that cert server and the Active Directory server. I'll put a link to Microsoft advisory on this and how to fix it. It was a really great week for Cymulate Cybersecurity Broadcast Series. Had two major broadcasts this week. One with Dr. Magda Shelley on anxiety-free vulnerability management. If you missed it live, please watch the recording. It was really fascinating. And also my good friend George Nazari, a global email security expert. We got into in-depth look at email security, everything from hygiene to account privileges to where each of the security controls comes into play in doing email security. Really fun and interesting interview and discussion. So you can watch those two. I'll put links to those in the notes section of the video. On top of that, we have a whole series of these. You can go to YouTube, the Cymulate YouTube channel, and watch it in video. Or if you want to take it with you while you jog and exercise, we have Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Stitcher. And that's the Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast for the week. I'm Dave Klein. Have a safe and wonderful week.